All right, all right. What up, what up, what up? It's Uncle Chrissy. Thank y'all for tapping in with me today for this edition of Release Notes. Was a pretty busy week last week. First off, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all know that I appreciate each and every one of you, every view, every click, every like. It means a lot to me. If you could drop a like on the video, help me get this thing pumped out to as much as you can. And if you haven't done so already, drop a sub. I got a lot of cool stuff going on this channel. I promise you won't want to miss it. But yeah, it's starting to heat up a little bit. So last week we had a pretty busy week for sure. Obviously, the big story of the week was the Bred 4s. The Jordans finally dropped, the Reimagined. It was a big release. We had the shock drop, I think it was on the 9th or 6th. February 6th that came out, and then this past week Saturday we had everybody else drop. There was tons of dubs out there. There's a lot of people were able to get the pairs in hand. A lot of people got them on release day, and just an overall a lot of success. I love to see it. Love to see manual users being able to hit their pairs with relative ease. Honestly, there was a lot of ease to go around, so I'm glad that everybody got to see it. By far, I think one of the easiest cooks was the Nike in-store. I put this information out on an episode of Release Notes, or maybe it was the emergency press conference last week, that Nike stores were going to have these first come, first serve on release day. They did. I put out the list of them, and people absolutely murdered them. There was a lot of people that said they had little to no lines at all. They were in and out 10, 20 minutes, easy breezy. So I'm real glad to see that, and I'm glad we're able to help some people out and get their pairs. Also, on that same day, the 17th, we had the release of the Book 1, the Mirage. That was the pair that I went after on that day. Unfortunately, stock was slim, and I didn't get it. I struck out. There wasn't a whole lot of dubs. I probably could have gotten one if I went after them on the Shopify sites, but I kind of just wanted to do a look-see, to tell you the truth. I'm kind of on the fence about that shoe. It could go either way. It could be hot, could be not. So I just wanted to go with Nike on sneakers because they have a return policy. If I didn't like it, I didn't want to get stuck with the money for the pair. But overall, I think it's a pretty clean shoe. I'm interested to see when pairs get in hand and people start posting some in-hand looks at it. So that'll be cool to see. Also, last week we had the KD4s, the Galaxies finally came back after 12 years. Again, not a whole lot of stock on these. I think there was like 27,000 pairs, and not a whole lot of dubs to go around. I think Mr. Easy Money Sniper himself, Slim Reaper, whatever you want to call him, I think he wore these during the All-Star game, so that was cool to see. And yeah, they did a lot of these. The KDs seem to be coming back. I think the Weathermans are coming up next. And there's another pair coming around after that. I don't really remember what it was, but that should be coming up soon too. But let's get into what's coming up this week. So like I said, we got a pretty busy week, and it's kind of some low-key heat, which I'm a little bit excited about. We don't have any big Jordans or any Yeezys or anything like that to drop. So it's cool to talk about some stuff that may be a little bit off the beaten path, maybe introduce some people to some new stuff. So first up, we have on February 21st, which is going to be Wednesday, is the Awake Airship combo pack. So Nike's done pretty much everything they can to push this Airship out to us. They've collaborated with everyone under the sun. I think Manier even had 2 collaborations on this, and Awake NY. This one, I'd say, probably has as good amount of hype behind it as any of them did. They teased this when Homeboy ran out the jacket on the Sneakers 2024 Jordan. On the Sneakers app, they did the Jordan Spring Line 24 preview. And the dude had the jacket on, got a lot of people excited about it. There's actually 2 pairs releasing. There is a pair with a red collar and a pair with a blue collar. So the 21st is the day that's penciled in. I haven't seen any firm release information just yet, but check in the description. We got the site supply release calendar. That'll have all the most up-to-date information in you need. If it's not on there right now, go back and refresh it a little while. As soon as we get more information, we add it on there as quick as we can. But again, 2-piece drop. Whatever, the Airships aren't my cup of tea. Nike's obviously putting a big push behind them. So if you want them, good luck. And then after that, again on the 21st, we got something cool. We got the Toy Story Crocs. We all know that the Lightnings, the Kachows went major. Everybody was looking for those. I was able to get my nephew a pair for Christmas, and we now have the Toy Stories. These may go just as big. We got 2 releases. We got the Woody and the Buzz pair. Obviously, Toy Story is a massive franchise, so don't be surprised to see these fly out the door fast. If you are looking for a pair, don't sleep on them if you want them for the little ones, or if you're just a kid at heart looking to have some fun. Love to see this kind of stuff. After that, moving on to Thursday. Pretty busy day on Thursday. We got the Jown 2002 R's, the Gore-Texes. We have the gray pair and the green pair dropping on New Balance's site. They dropped last week on the Jown site. Didn't seem like they were too hard to get. Obviously, New Balance, when they do the collabs, it's usually a much smaller stock on their website for release. And we all know that New Balance's site is, honestly, it's bot central. New Balance could care less. They let bots absolutely run rampant on that site. So if you haven't gotten them already, who knows? Maybe there'll be some pairs to go around, but if not, I bid you good hunting, because New Balance does not care about you. There's little to no bot protection whatsoever. Well, they do their queue system, but bots throw so many different chances on that. It's virtually impossible to get through manually. I think I had somebody in the past tell me that they had number like 6 in the queue, and by the time they got through, there was only like a size 7 because they just got absolutely pillaged by bots. So good luck if you want that pair. They're kind of clean. They're element friendly because they are Gore-Tex, and good luck to you if you want them. After that, we got the CP Company ASICS Quantum 360s. So this is kind of a cool release. I like this pair. These are dropping on the ASICS site on the 26th. So the Quantum 360, a little bit of a chunkier sole ASICS than you're used to seeing with the 1130s, the 2160s, and probably the Kayanos that most people are used to seeing nowadays. And the two-part release is cool. You got one pair that's kind of silver and black towards the heel, and I think it's kind of like a grayish silver up front. And then there's one pair that's just a static monochromatic yellow all the way through. I can't get away with that Big Bird pair. That's definitely not for me, but I do like the silver and black pair. It's nice, it's clean. The Quantum 360 is pretty comfortable, and ASICS are making a move. They got a lot of collabs coming out in the early part of this year with a lot of brands you may not know of, so definitely check them out and give it a go. I don't think it'll be too hard of a cop from the ASICS side. I believe they have a decent return policy. Just make sure that you don't get hit with a final sale if you're not 100% sold on them. We also have the Serena Williams Design Crew Air Max 1 coming out that day. So it's a cool Air Max 1. Serena Williams has been doing her thing. I know she put out a pair of Dunks a couple of months ago, I think it was. And this Air Max 1, it reminds me a lot of the Shimmer that dropped, I think, or Shimmer, whatever it was, that dropped last year. Clean, neutral tones. You got that light beige kind of mudguard wrapping all the way around, and a intricate little design stitched into it. It's kind of cool. Not really my thing, but it's a nice little change up from the typical wraparound mudguard. Like I said, clean colors. You got that extra little detail from Serena. Shouldn't be too hard to cop. These are in women's sizes, by the way. Then on Thursday, what I think is probably going to be the biggest release, also could be the biggest flop. This is kind of an all or nothing one. So we have the Supreme Nike Air Max DN. This is a brand new silhouette from Nike, and Supreme is rolling it out. Supreme's got the IPO, if you will. So Nike's made this a big deal out of this. They're saying this is a very innovative shoe. You have those circular kind of balls in the heel, similar to like the what was it called? The Air Max, the Air Glide back in the day, or the Nocta Glide, similar to that shoe. I'm kind of on the fence of this. Like, I'm not mad at the design. Like, I'm not mad at it at all. The Supreme logoing on the upper, the branding is relatively neutral. Like, it's relatively muted, so it's not going to be anything that's bright and over the top like some Supreme stuff is. And then I think the actual release of the shoe is coming out a week or two later. But again, I'm very surprised to see the Supreme get the initial release on these. But good for them. Supreme and Nike have a big history, and we'll see how this goes. This drops Thursday. Supreme, 11 o'clock. We all know how to operate their site by now. Hopefully it won't be too hard to grab. Usually Supreme collabs like this aren't the highest of stock, so good luck if you're going for this one. It's a pretty cool pair. Then we will move on to Friday the 23rd, and we got some more ASICS. We got the Kiko Costa D-Nov ASICS Gel Terrain. There's a 2-pack release, both very bright and very colorful. It's an outdoor, trail kind of shoe, so it's going to be a little bit more rugged, probably a little bit heavier, but it looks like it's kind of breathable on the upper. These aren't really my cup of tea, but I'm a big ASICS guy, and I'm glad that we get to talk about some different things this week and not just Jordans and Dunks. So pretty cool. If you want them, again, these are going to be up on the ASICS site on the 23rd. Both pairs should be relatively accessible. If you are looking after them, like I said, it shouldn't be too hard. Next up, we got the Bodega Sauconys. Bodega's Grid Shadow 2 Saucony collaboration. Obviously Saucony jumped on the map real big last year with the J-Tips collaboration. That was last year, right? Yeah, sorry, I'm getting my timelines mixed up. It was last year. Obviously Saucony's been around forever, but J-Tips definitely definitely thrust them into the forefront with what he did on their shoes and a couple pairs since then. Bottega pair is a little bit nice. You know, it's got that Bodega kind of aesthetic with some brown like we've seen on a few of their collabs in the past. This is dropping exclusively via Bodega as far as I know, so definitely check out their site. And again, down below in the description, we do have the links for the release calendar with everything you may need. So check that pair out. It's cool. You know, the Saucony's having a little bit of a moment right now. Bodega's a cool brand. If you like the aesthetic of this shoe, good after it. Might not be that hard to hit. Then again on the 24th, moving on to Saturday, we do have a Jordan 1, the black white. I am absolutely not using the P word to describe this shoe, but this is, I believe we call this the bread style color blocking or shattered backboard. I'm not too sure, but you got the black overlays, you got the white heel cap, the white toe box. Pretty simple, pretty clean. I think this pair is already under retail on the resale market, so it's going to be pretty easy to hit these shoes. There's a lot of them to go around. I'll get more into stock numbers as the week progresses, and yeah, there's a lot of these to go around. If you are wanting it, you know, this could be cool if you're a customizer. You know, do something funky with those white panels. It shouldn't be too hard to hit. And good luck to you. But after that, on the 24th is, again, on the 24th is the Undefeated Terra Humaras. So these are cool. Undefeated did a two-piece release on these, I don't know, a month or two ago. Maybe it was December. I don't really remember the timeline. But now we have probably the two more highly sought-after pairs of these. We got this one pair that's just like bright indigo, teal, aqua kind of color. Reminds me a lot of the Nike and LeBron Miami aesthetic. Reminds me a lot of that. That colorway at least. And then they have the, I think they're calling it cargo khaki, which is you know, a little bit more true to form for Undefeated with their muted olive. It's kind of the same colorway that you used to seeing on the 4, the original Undefeated Jordan 4, the first Jordan collab. It's those same kind of color packages with the olive. I think there's some orange highlights on there, gray and black. It's a two-piece release. Undefeated dropped it on their Instagram, so I'm sure that they are going to be releasing via Undefeated. And I think that the that bright aqua, whatever the green color is going to be releasing on the sneakers app somewhere down the road. I don't know if the olive pair is, but I do believe pretty firmly that that bright loud pair is going to be releasing on sneakers app. If you want to if you want to hold off on that, we got a few other random stuff dropping throughout the course of the week that I want to keep eyes up on. First off, the SB Wildcard. Some people are calling these the Leonardos, the blue and green SB Dunks. They have been showing up at skate shops everywhere for the past week, and they're going to keep showing up. We know with these inline pairs, skate shops pretty much just put them out as they get them. Not everybody receives them on the same day, so there's no firm release date. I'm just going to tell you to check in with your locals as always. I know out of the two shops that are within about an hour of me, one of them dropped them already, one of them doesn't have them yet. So keep in touch with your locals. These probably won't be too hard to touch, and we are going to see a sneakers release somewhere down the line on these. There's definitely some pairs allocated for a sneakers drop. Just don't have a date on it yet. There's not a huge stock of these to go around, and I don't know, people seem to like them a lot. So if you have a chance to get them, don't sleep on it, but there should be a Nike release down the road. But again, there's not a whole lot to go around, so definitely skate shops are going to be your best bet to get this pair. The Earls Collection ASICS, the 2160, cool looking pair. You got this brown and kind of like I don't know, aquamarine kind of teal color. They dropped on the Earls website overseas a couple of days ago, if not yesterday, but these are actually seeing a pretty wide release. So check out the release calendar below. I also I retweeted the homie Chef Doomy put out a full release for list of these, and these are going pretty wide. There's a lot of boutiques that are getting these, probably at least like 25. So if you want to get hands on a pair of these, it shouldn't really be too hard. So definitely make sure that you're checking that list out and going after these ones. Next up is going to be the Plum Dunks. So the ugly duckling pack, the purple ones are coming back out. You got that two-tone kind of purple. You got that red swoosh. So I can confirm that we are going to see a sneakers release on this, or it could be a Nike release. I don't know just yet, but it's going to be pretty sizable as well. It's going to be big. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one upwards of 6 figures when the numbers actually do come in. I don't have a date for it just yet. I don't have a date for it, but it's going to be big, and it's probably going to come out of the blue. Y'all remember what happened last week with the Dusty Olives? I know it was just a restock, but it came out of absolutely nowhere. Barely found out about it as it was happening. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same exact thing happen here. I know the Dusty Olives was a restock, and the first drop had a little bit of a build up to it. But just keep your eyes and ears open. As soon as I know a little bit more about these, I will do my best to get that information out there as fast as possible. So make sure you're subbed in here on the YouTube. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. It's at Uncle_Chrissy, and on Instagram at Uncle.Chrissy, to get that information as fast as possible. I know this is a hype pair. This has probably got more of a following than the Dusty Olives, and a lot of people are going to be going after these. So even if there is 100,000 pairs, which I think we're going to be close, if not more, they're still going to sell out. People like this pair a lot, so definitely don't sleep if you see them. We'll probably end up seeing a boutique release somewhere down the road, similar to what we saw with the Dusty Olives. And yeah, that's about it. So like I said, it's a busy week. It's cool to see some under the radar stuff. Hopefully some people can get introduced to some new silhouettes, maybe some new brands. And I'm personally glad to see these Bred 4s. I'm glad to see that release in the rear view window. I don't want to have to talk about these again for a while, but one more thing. I don't think we're done with this pair. I do think we'll see something down the road in terms of a restock, in terms of a resupply. Maybe it's a Jordan 4 reserve. Maybe it's one of those second chance drops. Maybe it's a sneakers pass. I don't know, but it's just my gut. I'm not basing this on anything. It's not factual. It's just my gut saying I don't think we're done with this pair. So hopefully if you struck out, you can still get them. And again, if you did strike out on this pair, do not pay resale right now. Wait for another week, towards the end of this week, when all those pairs from Nike ship out, all those pairs from the boutique start hitting doorsteps, they will be a lot cheaper to get. They will be much cheaper when those pairs show up. Do your thing, but don't take my word for it. Do your homework. That's just my guess. That's based on what I've seen from market conditions over the course of the past, 5-6 years. Once these pairs show up, there will be a dip. Right now, everybody's still FOMO buying, but I'd be in no rush if it were me. If it were me, I would wait. I was fortunate enough to get my pair for retail on the Shock Drop, but if it were me, I'd hold up. Thank you all again so much for tuning in. Please drop a sub on the channel, drop a like on the vid, and don't forget to check out the Drop Shop. That is the podcast. I have been starting this up slowly but surely. It's definitely been a dream of mine to get going for at least a couple of years now. And today we're going to be talking about collabs. Are they dead with the homie HHSB crew? We're going to be talking it up. So please, I got the playlist built over there on the channel already. Check out the Drop Shop. Episode 1's already been done. Episodes 2 coming up soon. If you miss out on it when we go live, definitely make sure to hit the rewind for it. So again, it's Uncle Chrissy. I'm gonna sign off, say peace. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please hit a sub on the channel, check out some of the other videos we got going on, and I thank you all so much for tuning in. Later.